Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode 21 from the book of Acts. We're going to read an incredible story about a lame beggar who was healed by Peter. Listen in, and then we're going to talk about it. 10 verses, chapter 3, verse 1. Now, Peter and John were going up to the temple at the hour of prayer, the 9th hour. And a man, lame from birth, was being carried, whom they daily laid at the gate of the temple that is called the Beautiful Gate, to ask alms of those entering the temple. Seeing Peter and John about to go into the temple, he asked to receive alms. And Peter directed his gaze at him, as did John, and said, "Look at us." And he fixed his attention on them, expecting to receive something from them. But Peter said, "I have no silver and gold, but what I do have, I give to you. In the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, rise up and walk." And he took him by the right hand and raised him up, and immediately his feet and ankles were made strong. And leaping up, he stood and began to walk and entered the temple with them, walking and leaping and praising God. And all the people saw him walking and praising God and recognized him as the one who sat at the beautiful gate of the temple asking for alms. And they were filled with wonder and amazement at what happened to him. All right, there's a bunch of things I like about this story. First thing I noticed was that these guys are still participating in Jewish activities and going to the temple time at prayer, the 9th hour, which is 3 p.m. Second thing was about the physical characteristics about the lame guy. So he is lame from birth. That is, he can't walk. So if you stood him up, his legs would crack and crumble because, number one, he has no musculature to support it, and his bones are not strong enough to support him. He's had osteoporosis. He's like he's been an astronaut, and hasn't been in gravity. The bones and the muscles respond to activity. So the way they describe him is lame from birth, and he needed to be carried. So what we find out is we have an impossible situation. It's impossible mechanically and muscularly and structurally, as well as neurologically, which is kind of the thing everybody thinks about. All right, number 3, we find Peter and John and this lame person involved in the welfare system of Israel, and that is what this guy is asking. He doesn't get a welfare check every month. He gets alms from the people of Israel, the people of God. All right, now for the fun stuff. So Peter directs his gaze at this guy in verse 4. Peter directs his gaze at him, as did John. So they fix their attention on him, and in response to their request, "Look at us," he fixes their attention on them. So they're intently looking at each other. Okay, and then we have a moment of faith, but the best we can tell, it's not from the lame guy. Peter is the one that demonstrates faith. A little bit, John, there's the look as well. But Peter directs his gaze, but then he directs his words at him and says, "I have no silver and gold, but what I do have I give to you." And then here, Peter did not have to say this, but he does. He steps out and he says, "In the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth," what? Rise up and walk? Like, where did Peter get this in his head? Well, here's the thing, is we have a demonstration here of an apostolic miracle. Now, let's not just take this for granted. This is a new thing. In the history of the Bible, people that have participated in divine healings, that is real healings, documented healings, you can sort of can't count them on a couple of hands. You have Elisha healing, being involved in Naaman's healing, or Elijah raising a guy from the dead, or the miracles of Moses. My point is that when people do miracles, non-Jesus people do miracles, it's an unusual thing. And here we have Peter saying what the miracle is going to be before he actually sees it. So he claims the miracle, rise up and walk. And it says it by the name of Jesus, in the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, and by his Spirit. So everybody is new. Obviously the lame guy is new to this, but let's not forget. I think the biggest act of faith is by Peter here, that he sees him, he connects with him based on the money thing. Hey, give me some money, and Peter says, no, I don't have money, and then interjects this by his name, by his Spirit activity that's happening. So Peter is one that's helped having faith. As far as we know, the guy doesn't have faith. He does stick out his hand. He does look at them. He does receive the miracle that Peter gives. And then I love this, verse 7. So this is back to the guy having weak ankles. He took him by the right hand, raised him up, and immediately his feet and ankles were made strong. Why is that? Because if he stood up and started to walk, he would break his legs. Why? Because he has no bony structure, because the bones haven't been made strong by the continual use of gravity. It's called Wolff's law in the orthopedic business. And he needs strong legs, because then in verse 8 he starts to leap around, which echoes Isaiah 35. I think we'll have to talk about it tomorrow, because something very special happens to this guy, and that is leaping. And it's a marker that's going to take us back to the Old Testament. And then finally, the last verse is the response of the people, that people get wonder and amazement. And so my conclusion today is, hey, you people who are listening are actually participating in Be With Me, 7 minutes of biblical, that's right, wonder, which is what these people did. So you're doing exactly, hopefully, what the people in the story are doing. So today, people just want to be seen. Go find somebody to be seen. Maybe it's a spouse, a worker, a friend, or probably a child. And boldly go today and direct your gaze towards them. And then maybe step out in faith and let the Spirit do his thing like Peter did. Peter could have said nothing, but he made a connection, and he extends this guy the Spirit of God, which is new to Peter. It's new to this guy. And then we have strong legs, which we'll talk about tomorrow, so he can leap. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for wondering and amazing with me. I'll see you tomorrow.